What happens when you take a sports car, no plan, and over 60 days of the road trip across America? My name is Dennis, my wife Vera, and I drive our Porsche Boxster across the United States and Canada. No route, no bookings, no script. Just us, our Porsche Boxster, and thousands of miles of spontaneous adventure. If you love road trips, freedom, and living life on the edge of the map, hit subscribe and join the ride.
All aboard! Quack, quack.
Hahbah. What? So much every single day. And that becomes a problem. So, day 27. It's getting really chill. It's like 35 degrees right now. And it's cold.
Quack, quack.
I have to idle the car for 10 minutes before we go anywhere. And we're still in Boston. Yes, we booked the Canada yesterday night. Yes, we're going there. Let's explore Boston before I freeze out. Maybe a hot cup of espresso. I don't know. Whatever you got at the coffee shop will help out. And maybe today is gonna be at least 50. That's what they say. So, let's go. You can easily tell when I was from here because, I mean, locals, they're like, you know, end of summer. We're going to a duck tour of that guy. Style.
Because it's from World War II. I mean, everything was smaller back then.
John Adams. You can find his artwork about 2 miles behind us at the Museum of Fine Arts. All aboard! Quack, quack. Okay, folks, we are now aboard. This concludes the water portion of our tour. Thank you so much for coming. You may now exit the vehicle.
So what do you think?
I actually loved it. It was quite fun. And I think we got lucky with the
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
Because when somebody can throw jokes and make them, you know, interesting, give you some facts and keep you entertained for the like hour and a half, I mean, that's a job well done. Highly recommend you. Not sure who is gonna be your guide, but we had a blast with Captain Choo Choo or whatever name
He said his name is Choo Choo. And I think partly because if someone doesn't like him, I mean, that's not a real name. And, you know, overall, the whole experience is quite unique because those ducks are from World War II. And those were actual military vehicles that participated in the battles. I'm not sure if our particular one did any actual wartime, but it was built back then for the war. And if you ever heard the line "sitting ducks," it actually
just Google the name, you'll find out what it is. We learned quite a few interesting facts that if you walk on a flat land in Boston, it's a man-made land.
So can you imagine?
So most of the city is pretty much been man-made because underneath it's a river, it's a water. Hahbah. What? So now he suggested to go to the library because it's a free admission.
And it's actually the very first public library in the States.
Right. I guess that's what it is.
I think so.
Right by the entrance is a sign that says free to all. And he said that it's more or less like a free museum. You don't have to be like, you know, into the books, but they let you take up to 75 books. And he cracked the joke like he wouldn't want to see somebody reading all 75 at the, you know.
Same story 75 times. We have to start from the fact that this is the very first public library in the United States.
Right.
And because of Boston's location and historic significance, it's a home of many firsts. So first public library, first state to abolish slavery. You can Google the whole list, first public school, etc., etc. And this one was founded in 1848, so it's almost 200-year-old building that's still operating in its original capacity today, which is extremely rare for the United States.
most ridiculous parking that I found so far. If you park over an hour, it's like $30, right? Wow.
And I think over 1 hour and 20 minutes it's 46, and same rate for 24 hours. I mean, I think Dennis, he already forgot what it's like to live and work in downtown of a major city. Because when we lived and worked in Chicago, I mean, we were used to $50 for parking per 24 hours. But now he's crying because he's used to free parking. Well, so aside from parking situation, which is
they just
disaster.
won your award. Like, look at the left.
Oh yeah.
Anything like that.
Everything is taken though.
Yeah, but I can guarantee on the way back, Vera will be sitting on one of those and enjoying her tea, which was
English breakfast?
English breakfast.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to support Empire, but we were not quite ready for another cup of coffee. Anyways, aside from all of that, what are your impressions about Boston so far?
I like the accent. I like the honesty, and you know, some people are really straightforward. So the duck tour was great.
Quack, quack.
The library was gorgeous. It's just one of those attractions that you can visit anytime and just see it for yourself, because it's a half museum, half actual library.
It's an actual library, but it's so beautiful that you would say it's a museum.
So now you want to visit the Paul Revere
House?
house.
Yeah. It's on every single list, so we decided to visit. It's also the oldest surviving building in Boston.
Yep.
So that kind of makes it interesting as well.
So looks like it's on the left, half a block.
Alright. Dennis, the navigator, says it means it is.
And as always, if you pay only $6, you cannot film inside.
Right.
So after the visit, the only thing that's spinning in my mind, because it's getting really cold and you know the weather is changing for us, it's unusual. I want ice cream.
So
That's how I can describe the visit to Paul's Revere house. You cannot film it there, so I'm sorry, you have to visit for yourself.
Yeah, but we did our best with showing you the exterior. And the house is interesting because it's the oldest surviving building in the whole city of Boston. So it really gives you a glimpse of what life looked like in the 17th century. And let me tell you, it was not really luxurious. And Paul Revere was not a poor man by any means. He was craftsman, he was printer, he was silversmith. So better yet ask who he was not.
Right.
He was also a patriot, obviously revolutionary, and his famous midnight ride actually helped Samuel Adams and John Hancock not to get captured by the British, but it also led to the battles at Lexington and Concord that basically started the Revolutionary War. So he was a pretty significant figure. And now we are going again to pick up our car from another parking lot. Try to guess in the comments how much they will charge us. And then we'll go and visit the Beacon Hill neighborhood that we were planning to do yesterday, but ran out of daylight. And this is a perfect example of Victorian architecture, so we'll see what it's like.
About an hour away from Boston, if you're going to be sitting in traffic, because you will, you can get to 6A, the route 6A, and this is called Old Kings Highway. Everyone is recommending to visit and to check it out. We decided to pick the best time, and right now it's 4:32. We'll be there at around 5 o'clock as the sun will be setting, and it should be beautiful, not only for the video but also just to drive and enjoy the scenery.
So the route is not on an island, it's actually a peninsula, and it's called Cape Cod. There are two peninsulas right next to each other. One is Cape Cod and another one is Cape Ann. Both have scenic routes, both are a little bit different. Cape Cod is more, slightly, I would say, more popular and more developed than Cape Ann. And this is the route we decided to check out.
Fun fact, the easiest way to get there is to put on GPS the city name Sandwich. You're not gonna miss it.
Otherwise, Google will push you through the shortest route, which does not make much sense. Well, our tour guide was trying to teach the whole bus Boston accent, and I'm not sure how everyone is progressing in it. Here you go, meet the chauffeur.
It's quite a long route, but it's beautiful. Lots of cool houses, beautiful properties, a little bit of Torrance, nothing too special, but little towns, something to enjoy. I think it's gonna be real nice during the summertime because a lot of places we've noticed they close for the season, like coffee shops, ice cream shops, you name it. Definitely a nice place to check out if you have extra time. I just don't think we're at the right time and in the right season. It was quite an eventful day. At the same time, I've started noticing that days are flying by. You gotta understand that we've been on the road for the past like 27, 28 days now. So things are going quick, and it feels like we gotta find a way to pull that handbrake and slow down a little bit, just because I barely able to tell you what was 10 days ago. Ask me what was like 12 days ago. I don't remember. It's just been so much every single day, and that becomes a problem. So
Such a nice problem to have, don't you think?
we are going back to the hotel. So what do you think, Vera? What was the best part, the worst part?
Well, the best part is simple. Boston itself. I mean, the city is beautiful. It's also known as the most European city in the US. And as someone who has been to Europe multiple times, we can attest to that. It is really the most European city.
You got the streets, you got the history, you got the vibe. I mean, most of the cities right now, they don't look touristy as Boston. I have to say that we saw some really bad examples, like Atlantic City, for example. They're struggling, and comparing to what you see here, it's just day and night. People visit from all over the world. Even the fact that half of the Boston, most of it is a river, and they had to make the land. So I really enjoyed the duck tour today. I think it's one of the highlights, just because it's fun, simple, entertaining. Even though it was quite cold, I think it just, it was a good experience in general.
Yes, in terms of the tours, you have so many choices. If you are picking your bus tour, make sure you have a live guide.
Long story short, you got a ton of options in terms of what to visit, what to do. You have a little Italy, places to eat, like you got so much going on.
Can you imagine 24/7 Italian bakery? Just in case you want cannoli at 3:30 in the morning? Well, Boston has it.
So what are we thinking about Boston? Because tomorrow we're gonna leave. Well, definitely check it out.
I'd like to add something. If you are interested in American history and just, America as a country, because it literally shaped the whole world, you absolutely must visit Boston.
Look at Vera, she doesn't want to leave.
But that's a wrap for today's episode. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. See you in the next one.